The secret to manifest money. What if I told you that the secret to manifesting money has nothing to do with working harder and everything to do with how you think? That might sound controversial, but Napoleon Hill spent his life proving it. Because while most people chase wealth with hustle and stress, a small percentage unlock it by rewiring their minds from the inside out. And here's the truth they don't want you to hear. Money isn't attracted to action alone. It's magnetized by belief, precision, and alignment. If you've ever repeated affirmations like, "I attract abundance," only to feel stuck, frustrated, and broke, this video's for you, because we're going to expose why the law of attraction only works when it's backed by mental programming, emotional clarity, and practical daily habits. You'll learn how to rewire your subconscious, eliminate self-sabotage, and finally align your thoughts with the level of income you deserve. No fluff, no shortcuts, just a complete shift in how you create, receive, and manage prosperity. So stay with me until the end, because we're not just going to talk about manifesting money, we're going to build the foundation that makes wealth inevitable. And if you apply what you'll learn here, you won't have to chase money anymore. It will start finding you. The power of thought. Most people underestimate the silent force that governs their entire reality, their own thoughts. Napoleon Hill taught that your dominant thinking is like a magnet. It pulls into your life exactly what you're prepared to receive. If someone constantly repeats in their mind, "I'm always broke," they're not just describing life, they're programming their future. The brain begins searching for evidence to support that thought, reinforcing the belief. But here's the twist. The same mechanism works for wealth, prosperity, and success. When you choose to focus on financial success, opportunity, and growth, you're not daydreaming. You're wiring your brain to expect those outcomes. Repetition turns into belief, and belief molds behavior. Think of it like Google Maps. Your thoughts are the destination you type in. The more specific and consistent your destination, the faster your mind finds the best route to get you there. Wealth mindset begins not in your wallet, but in your mind. That's where the journey quietly begins, and that's where most people quit too early. So next time you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good with money," pause. Would you let someone else program your future that way? Hill warned that success starts with clarity, and your thoughts are the clay. Every belief you cement today becomes a building block for your future finances. That's why your first step isn't to earn more, it's to think differently. Because what comes next isn't just theory, it's transformation. Definite purpose plus goal setting. Napoleon Hill was crystal clear. Wealth doesn't appear by accident, it responds to purpose. A vague wish like, "I want more money," is like throwing darts blindfolded. But when you set a definite goal, backed by burning desire, your mind sharpens like a guided missile. Clarity activates the brain's reticular activating system, RAS, helping you spot opportunities aligned with your objective. It's not just mental, it's neurological. Let's say your goal is to generate $10,000 monthly through a coaching business. That's not just a dream, it becomes a measurable mission. Break it down. How many clients? What price point? What offer? What traffic source? Then reverse engineer it into weekly milestones. By week 1, research competitors. By week 2, design your offer. By week 3, launch your landing page. Suddenly success becomes a system, not a shot in the dark. And when doubt creeps in, and it will, your definite purpose acts like a compass. You won't get swayed by shiny objects or panic under pressure. Because you're not wandering, you're on a mission. Hill called this unwavering focus the backbone of achievement. Without it, motivation fades, distractions win, and your potential stays trapped. But once it's in place, you'll be shocked how fast life starts rearranging itself around your vision. Mastermind Alliance. Success doesn't happen in a vacuum, and Napoleon Hill knew it. That's why he insisted on the power of the mastermind, a trusted group of individuals aligned in purpose, growth, and accountability. A trusted group of individuals aligned in purpose, growth, and accountability. When you surround yourself with people who think big, take action and refuse to settle, their energy rubs off on you. Suddenly your ideas get sharper, your confidence grows, and new possibilities show up that you never saw alone. It's not just networking, it's mental leverage. Imagine you're building an online business. You team up with 3 others. One knows copywriting, another is skilled in ads, and one's a tech wizard. You meet weekly on Zoom to discuss goals, share resources, and critique progress. You're no longer guessing. You're growing in the presence of support and pressure. That's the secret sauce. Alone, it might take 2 years. With a mastermind, you could collapse that timeline into 6 months. And here's the twist. A mastermind isn't just about exchanging skills. It's about exchanging belief. When your faith falters, theirs carries you. When your plan breaks, theirs fills the gap. He'll believe that 2 or more minds working in harmony create an invisible force, almost spiritual, that multiplies results. So if you're serious about financial success, don't just go for it, go together. Persistence and overcoming fear. Every great pursuit hits a wall, and most people stop there. Napoleon Hill warned that fear is the real thief of wealth, not lack of talent. Doubt whispers, you're not ready. Procrastination says, tomorrow's better. And fear screams, but the ones who rise, they move anyway. Persistence isn't just continuing, it's continuing when everything in you wants to quit. Let's say you've launched your first product and no one buys. Most would call it a flop, but the persistent mind, it calls it feedback. You adjust the offer, refine the message, and launch again. 3 times, 4 times, and then suddenly sale number 1 hits. That spark changes everything, because when you train yourself to push through resistance, you stop fearing failure. You start using it as fuel. Hill recommended a practical tool, a persistence log. Each day, write down 3 actions you took despite fear. Maybe you followed up on a pitch, filmed a video even when tired, or published a post that made you nervous. These small wins add up, and they rewire your brain for resilience. So when fear shows up next time, you'll smile and think, you again, and what comes next will demand that strength. You again, and what comes next will demand that strength. Organized planning and taking action. Let's be honest, ideas are cheap. It's the execution that separates dreamers from doers. Napoleon Hill didn't just preach about visualizing wealth. He hammered the importance of organized planning. Without a concrete roadmap, inspiration fades into thin air. You can feel motivated all day, but if your to-do list is blank, so is your bank account. Think of it like this. Every big goal needs a small, boring checklist. Want to launch a digital course? Week 1, research your audience. Week 2, outline modules. Week 3, record content. Week 4, build the sales funnel. When you assign dates, tasks, and ownership, even if it's just you, your mind shifts from overwhelm to clarity. And when clarity is high, action becomes automatic. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. Hill said delay is the enemy of success. So whether it's posting your first video, calling that prospect, or finally opening that business account, do it messy. The universe responds to movement. Even if the first draft flops, it gives you something to improve. And trust me, what comes next rewards the ones who act, not just the ones who plan. Specialized knowledge. There's a reason Napoleon Hill made a distinction between general education and specialized knowledge. It's not about having a degree. It's about knowing something the market values right now. In today's world, information is everywhere, but application is rare. The person who masters one specific skill, email copywriting, Facebook ads, Etsy store growth, can print money on demand. Why? Because they solve real problems for real people. Think of specialized knowledge as your personal wealth engine. Let's say you're great at organizing and planning. Turn it into a digital productivity course. If you've learned how to grow on TikTok, offer consulting for small businesses. You don't need to be a guru. You just need to know more than the person willing to pay you. Read relevant books like The Lean Startup, or take short courses on Coursera or Udemy. Learn, apply, tweak, repeat. And here's the game changer. Specialized knowledge multiplies when paired with action. The more you test what you learn in the real world, the more valuable you become. Hill knew that fortune favors those who learn fast and move faster. So stop waiting to feel ready. Pick a skill that aligns with your goal. Immerse yourself and apply it immediately. Because what's coming next builds directly on what you know and what you do with it. Emotional balance, faith, patience, and gratitude. If strategy is the engine of success, emotional balance is the fuel. Napoleon Hill made it clear, no one builds lasting wealth while drowning in doubt. Faith in this context isn't religion, it's the unshakable belief that your plan will work because you're committed to it. Patience gives that faith time to unfold, and gratitude. That's the secret attitude adjustment that keeps your mind receptive to prosperity. Think of someone planting an orchard. They don't dig it up every week to see if it's growing. They water, protect, and wait, knowing the harvest comes in its own season. Wealth works the same way. You must hold the image of success long, enough for your actions to compound. During that time, practicing gratitude rewires your brain to focus on what's working, not just what's missing. That keeps motivation alive even when results feel slow. So how do you practice emotional balance daily? Start your morning by writing down 3 things you're grateful for. Then affirm, I trust the process. Catch yourself when impatience creeps in, and shift focus to what you can do today. Remember, the journey of wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Stay grounded, stay grateful, and stay faithful. Because what we'll talk about next is how to bring all these insights together. Integration, turning insights into practice. Here's the truth. Reading about success won't make you successful. Ritualizing it will. Napoleon Hill didn't just write principles for inspiration. He laid down a blueprint for daily living. If you don't translate what you've learned into daily routines, it fades like a forgotten dream. So let's get practical. Each morning, start with one clear affirmation and visualize it until it feels real. 5 minutes is enough to plant the right mental seeds. Then revisit your definite goal. Say it out loud like a contract with your future self. Review your weekly plan, choose one action, and move. It doesn't need to be huge. Consistency beats intensity every time. Keep a small journal. Log your effort, your thoughts, and one lesson daily. This tight feedback loop builds confidence fast. And don't skip your evening review. What worked? What didn't? And what will you try tomorrow? Add a weekly mastermind check-in, even if it's a voice note to a friend. Discuss your wins, your setbacks, and something new you've learned. Try exploring a new microskill once a week. Email marketing, video editing, storytelling, anything tied to your vision. Monthly, run a full progress audit. What numbers moved? Where did you stall and how can you adjust? Because what's coming next is where it all starts to pay off. Advanced examples and case studies. Let's bring this all down to earth. Take Maria, a freelance designer who used to charge $200 per project. After adopting a wealth mindset and affirming, I attract high-value clients who respect my time, she rewired her self-perception. She joined a mastermind with other creatives, learned premium pricing strategies, and refined her offer. 6 months later, she's closing $5,000 projects and turning away low ballers. The shift, it started in her mind. Then there's Andre, a local artist selling prints for 50s and barely breaking even. He applied Hill's principle of definite purpose. His goal, sell 200 prints at $150 each by year's end. He tracked his efforts daily, studied Facebook ads through a short course, and joined an art-focused mastermind. By November, not only had he surpassed his goal, he'd raised his prices again. He didn't wait for the market. He trained it how to value him. These aren't magic stories. They're mental strategy in motion. The freelancer built belief, took aligned action, and upgraded her surroundings. The artist set clear goals, acquired specialized knowledge, and planned smartly. And just like them, your transformation doesn't need to start big, it just needs to start. Because next, we'll break down the exact wealth-building strategies you can implement right now without needing to be a millionaire first. Summary of key strategies. So let's recap, not with fluff, but with fire. First, think wealthy. Your dominant thoughts direct your subconscious GPS. Feed it clarity, not confusion. Next, use daily affirmations to rewire your belief system. Pair your words with emotion, visualize the outcome, and you'll start behaving like the future version of you. Because behavior follows belief always. Then set one definite goal, not 20. Hill said success is attracted to precision. Break it down, assign deadlines, and move. Bring in a mastermind alliance, people who sharpen you, hold you to your highest standard, and remind you who you're becoming. Then when fear shows up, and it will, persist anyway. Small, consistent steps are stronger than massive occasional ones. Now plan smart. Break goals into tasks and attack them weekly. Don't just learn deeply in areas tied to your mission. Pick a skill and master it. Balance it all with faith, patience, and gratitude. These aren't soft traits, they're power tools for emotional durability. With this structure in place, you're not hoping for success, you're engineering it. And now, it's time to tie it all together. Final thoughts. At the end of the day, this isn't just a motivational pep talk. It's a blueprint backed by psychology, neuroscience, and timeless wisdom. Your brain is programmable. Your thoughts are instructions. Your actions are algorithms. And every step you take either aligns with wealth or delays it. That's the part most people never realize. The invisible work builds the visible results. Napoleon Hill didn't write Think and Grow Rich for dreamers. He wrote it for doers. For those willing to discipline their minds, define their purpose, and move even when results aren't instant. And the truth is, once you align your thoughts, beliefs, and behavior, money stops feeling elusive. It starts flowing with the rhythm of who you've become. So if you're ready to stop chasing wealth and start attracting it, this is where the real journey begins, because everything we covered means nothing unless you use it, means nothing unless you use it. And that's exactly what we'll tackle in the next part of this experience. A real grounded path you can follow daily to build your wealth mindset from the inside out. Now that you've seen the real blueprint behind manifesting money, the question is, what will you do with it? Will you let this just be another video you watch and forget? Or will today be the day you draw the line and decide? Because here's the truth. Success isn't something you stumble into. It's something you design, one thought, one habit, one step at a time. And you have everything you need to start right now. What's the one belief you know you need to reprogram? What's the one goal you've been avoiding because fear got in the way? And if wealth really does start in the mind, what kind of mental environment have you been living in lately? This is your wake-up call to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating. Because every excuse you hold on to costs you opportunities, and your future self is waiting for you to show up. If this message hit home for you, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment below with your biggest breakthrough and tell me, what's the first action you're committing to today? And if you want to keep learning how to master your wealth mindset, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's keep growing together, because this is just the beginning.